We are about 40 miles or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 2014 as you get a look at Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, California. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Levi's Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was deafening. They're set for football as the 49ers get ready to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Good job right there. Good job right there.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
From the 41, Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. From the gun, it's Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. To throw again is Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 20-yard line. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Myers connects on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Mike's ready. Black, do that. Sonny.
A first carry for the former Falcon, Tevin Coleman. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. On third down, Winston. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Thought they were going to force a fourth down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 18 yards, first down Niners. They'll run with Coleman on first down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. Well, remember, Tevin Coleman was in the two-headed backfield in Atlanta during his 4 years there, along with Devontae Freeman. Now he joins a crowded backfield in San Francisco. But in Atlanta, he played under offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan, and then, of course, Shanahan becomes a 49er head coach, and he made it a point to go out and snag his former running back because he really likes his 26-year-old ball carrier. First down, San Francisco, the pickup, 14 yards.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line. Mike 80. Blue 80. Mike 5-4. Lost the twist. Here we go.
First down, Winston. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Jameis to throw it. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they'll get to him short of the first down at about the 16. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A 33-yard attempt.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. CD, you know there were quite a few Bears fans back in January saying, why didn't we hold on to that Robbie Gould guy?
Well, it's a legitimate question. 33 of 34 for San Francisco in 2018. The crazy stat of the year, he missed more extra points, 2, than he did field goals, 1, in the 2018 season.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
49ers 3.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down.
You got tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Fresh down.
Here's Wilson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. Catch made here by Campbell. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
36. Let's go double count right here. Double count.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. It's caught at the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Now Winston. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Winston. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They give him a gain of 37. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Go. 56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56. Drop deep. Watch safety creep. Safety's creeping. 25.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Campbell making the catch. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Check 52. 66. Shit. Left pass. Patch it.
They'll get this out quickly to Campbell. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Winston from the gun on 3rd down.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. On first down, it's Carson. A solid stiff, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 22-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Looking to throw again on second down. Winston, the tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Kittle last year, what a season. 1,377 receiving yards, an NFL record for tight ends en route to his first Pro Bowl. Not bad for the former fifth-round pick. I remember that game, December, against Denver. He had that monster first half, 210 yards. Did not have a single catch in the second half, but still those 210 yards were just 4 yards shy of Shannon Sharp's single-game record for a tight end. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, it's Winston. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Here we go, D. Here I come. Here I come. Kill, kill, kill. Turn it up. Kill. Let's go.
Jameis again. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. From the red zone now, Winston. Open man is Samuel, complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Throwing, Winston. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 33. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then against with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
53 is the mic. Hold up. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Good job right there.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Here's Carson. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd and goal, Wilson dancing to his left toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Mike 5-4. Here we go. Check 31. Check 31.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. This will be caught at about the 5. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. And if you're going to pass down here, you better get that in the end zone.
I agree with you totally, and as we both know, the field's already condensed. There's just not a lot of space, so you've got to create some by getting some people downfield into the end zone. If you want to throw it short, you've got to have some movement, some room in order to do that. That one didn't work.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Hey, come on, oh, come on, oh. He's coming. We got double up.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Winston complete to the tight end Kittle over the middle of the field. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 37. To throw, Winston. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Stop your whining.
To throw is Winston. Taking a shot for... And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
Now Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long.
Well left. 56, the mark, boys. 56. Check 56. Go. Go.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. D Ford able to record his 5th sack of the season. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A gain there of 21 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Kendrick Bourne, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Ready. White 25. 54 Mike. 3 buzz.
They'll throw again. Winston. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 45-yard line.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Winston now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now Winston. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 27 yards there, a 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Dante Pettis, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. One left. Record.
On first down, Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Wilson's throw caught by Metcalf. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
They'll run on first down. Carson. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Wilson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline.
And now here is another interception. He's picked off at his own 46. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. The extra point now coming from Myers. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Back to it after the pick 6. Winston. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 28. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
At the 24-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.